Here we go. Stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. I'm here with the coach, John Brent.
And I'm here with the vet, Ian Griffin.
Man, it's a great day today. Guess what we're going to talk about? We're going to throw a little...
Fall, presidents, what do we got?
We're going to throw a little cancel culture out there. I know everybody wants to hear about that.
Wow.
Trace today's times. You know, what is cancel culture actually? You know, it refers to attack on a certain group of people that has a reputation of disagreeing with what I like. And not only do I have to cancel it, I have to get other people to support me to cancel it because I'm not big enough to cancel it by myself. And so just a few things that I'm going to throw out there as we start diving into cancel culture a little bit. I don't like onions. I don't buy onions. I don't eat onions. My wife does. I don't get mad at her because she eats onions. You know, it's okay. Just brush her teeth before she kisses me. Well, all right. I just don't like onions, you know. But I'm not going to raise a ruckus about it. Actually, I even grew onions in the garden, you know, but I don't like them. So I kind of got over that. I'm not a big fan of Jane Fonda either. I don't buy her workout videos. But to be quite honest, I don't buy anybody's workout videos, you know. And I don't hold it against somebody who doesn't buy them. We can be going to the grocery store, which you'll never catch me at the store. But we'll go to the store and we can shop. And you can put in a Jane Fonda video in your shopping cart. And I'll just say, oh, okay, cool, whatever. We'll be all right. I'm not getting mad at you over it. It's just you like something different than I do.
There's a lot, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we don't. I don't like socialists, but I don't think they should be banned. I believe there should be socialists in the country if they want to be socialists, and let them have their own little socialist parties and socialist conferences. Same way, I don't like communists. Heck, I don't even like feminists. But hey, they all have a right in this country, I believe, to stand for something. Even if I don't agree with it, that doesn't mean I want to cancel them or fire them or shut it down. I might even want to listen to them and get some pointers of what they believe to try to understand the community better. But when you do not let people speak, you don't learn differences.
No, I agree, Coach. I agree. So as we talk about cancel culture, there's a few things that come to my mind, you know. And I've read some quote out of the Washington Post, and actually, excuse me, it was the New York Times, and it said, cancel culture, a lot of people, is most effective when the person you're canceling hasn't made it up to the top prominent spot in their field yet. So basically saying they're sending up, you can be very effective toward canceling somebody. It also says Hollywood actors, they're almost bulletproof from it because it really didn't affect them at all, you know, because they're already at the top.
It is amazing.
You know, so that's just kind of some nuances.
Yeah, and just to, look at the way that the Jesse Smollett thing came through. I mean, this guy here had this amazing story that no one believed from the get-go. Yes, he lost his job, but there are people today still defending him. He's still considered to be an actor that's going to probably act going forward. And you know what? I'm glad for that. I wish he wouldn't have been fired. It tarnished his own reputation. Yeah. But maybe we quit canceling people and firing people and let people do things. Now, what he did could have been possibly been a crime. But at this point right now, there's been no criminal charges, if I remember correctly. Right. But why do we always want to just cancel people? But you're right. Insulation from Hollywood, if it comes to the Weinstein, if it comes to any type of people in Hollywood, it seems like they live in a different universe.
Yep. So I'll say I have no problem with somebody disagreeing and doesn't like anything that I like. I don't have a problem with them not purchasing it or whatever or partaking in it. That's fine too. I do have some debate and I do have some heartburn a little bit about when somebody goes, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and go get it. I'm not strong enough to do it by myself, so I got to get a whole group together and I got to dislike it so we can all dislike it together. And I got to make sure that person gets fired too, you know, and things like that. And I'll give you probably a perfect example. It's in 2010, the British Petroleum, you know, had the Deepwater Horizon spill down in the Gulf. And people came out saying, we need to stop buying British petroleum products. You think about the common person who buys British petroleum products, it's at the gas station. Well, who owns the gas station? It's not British Petroleum. It is the local businessman in that area that hires some employees. So what you're saying is you don't like British Petroleum, but you're going to go get all the local guys fired or have them go lose their businesses because you disagree with it. And I just think that I'm like, man, that's bad for the economy in that area for doing that. Jeez, I mean, they're going to try to recover, and they're going to need every penny they got to recover from the tarnished name, and then we just go after the small businessman. So,
Vet, hey, Vet, I'm 100% on that, because when you say let's cancel Hobby Lobby because of, let's say, they believe in a different, they don't want to, have contraceptives or whatever it was, or let's cancel Chick-fil-A because they believe in religion. What you're not realizing is you're canceling local people's jobs, their livelihoods. You're not hurting that CEO in Tyler, Texas. You're hurting the people that live in Tyler, Texas that are taking that job as they're going to college, trying to get a career going. So you're correct, 100%. BP is a huge international company. You're not going to hurt them by going down here to Longview to the Loop and not buying BP gas. You're not going to do it. Exactly. You're going to hurt the people in Longview, Texas that have to have that job to survive.
Yep, and I will say most recently we had the deal where a CEO of an organization, Goya Foods, came out and he said something nice. Heaven forbid somebody say something nice to somebody. Jesus, you can't do that. If you say something nice, we got to take you down. And this is what he said. We are all truly blessed. At the same time, I have a leader like President Trump who is a builder. Okay, you might not agree with what his statement was, but he was being genuinely nice. And so if that wasn't bad enough,
can't have an opinion.
He had an opinion, and so we even had legislative officials that came out, and let me see what they said here. Oh, look, the sound of me Googling how to make your own adobo. Are you kidding me? So they're going to sit there. I would like to hear the sound of that person actually passing a bill. I mean, to be quite honest, out of all the people, if you take the
25,000 jobs to New York.
Yes, out of her New York delegation, that's all the congressmen and women in New York. Zero. She has scored least of her bills getting out of committee of all the other New York delegation. The least. That just tells me she's not doing her job, And then she had the fewest co-sponsors out of all the New York delegation. And I can go down the list of her bills that have not passed. And the percentage, the chances of them passing, 4%, 1%, 4%, 4%, 4%, 17%, 4%, 1%. There is one that says 35%. But that's the chances of it passing. Maybe if they get a little less time on worrying about that little CEO and worry about their constituents and passing bills for America, maybe getting some things done. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not canceling her. I'm just saying maybe she needs to focus on that instead. Anyway, especially as an elected official. So that's just my thoughts on the Goya Foods alone, so.
And what I'm hoping will happen is we will start canceling the cancel culture. I'm hoping that we will, as a nation, go, you know what? I don't have to agree with you. I don't even want to agree with you. And I want you to have your opinion, and it be different than mine. And I don't have to agree with it. We can shake hands and go home at the end of the day. But when you tell me I can't have an opinion or my own identity, or I am something that I'm not, I had someone just recently tell me on social media that you have to pick a side of the fence on an issue. Kind of like what Steven Jackson said with Drew Brees. You're either this or you're against this. No, that's BS, and I'm going to call it BS. Because I can actually want to be for my country and my flag and be against police brutality and say, I wish we would do this and I wish we could do that. And guess what? That's just my opinion. That's not set in stone. But as an American, I have an opinion to agree, disagree, or say nothing. I'm tired of people saying you have to believe something or say something or you are part of the problem. No, you might be part of the problem telling me I can't have an opinion.
Well, you know what that's called,
Coach?
Get me fired up,
Ben. You get me fired up.
You know what that's called, Coach? That's called bullying.
Tell me.
It's called
That's
bullying.
exactly what it is.
I'm going to say it again. It's called bullying. That's what it is.
Bullying.
That's all it is cancel culture is bullying. Is I'm not tough enough to go hit somebody up directly by having a conversation with them face to face. So I have to cancel them, and I have to get a whole bunch of other people to come on board and cancel them with me because I have to bully them. I want to see them out of a job, you know, like the Drew Brees thing. At first, oh my gosh, maybe he shouldn't come back to the locker room. What? Have you lost your minds? Not all 55 people in that locker room are going to agree. I hate to break the news to you. Don't think it's going to start now just because Drew Brees said something. Oh my goodness. But it is bullying at the end of the day. That's all cancel culture is. It's glorified bullying. And you know what? As much as Hollywood will put out a little YouTube video and say they stand next to somebody because they were bullied, they'll be the first ones to hop on the trail to go bullying other people through cancel culture.
Absolutely, and it's not just Hollywood anymore. It used to just be Hollywood was on the fringe. You mentioned Jane Fonda, but now it's become politicians themselves. We must believe somebody.
Yes.
And just when they tried to, I mean, in reality, the new vice president nominee for the Democratic Party, Kamala Harris, tried to cancel Brett Kavanaugh with no evidence.
Right.
And that's where we're going now. That no matter where the Senate is having a hearing, there's going to be a 5 minutes of beating on the person and 5 minutes of patting the person on the back. Not even about facts, not even about fact finding, but based on politics and based on if I can cancel this person's reputation, then I can cancel them across the board. And it's become so politicized, it's sickening. And going forward, that we can stop this.
It has really become a grandstanding point of view. If there's a cancel culture that hits the mainstream, that the media will get behind, as a politician, I have to get on that bandwagon because I could lose in touch with the swing vote, which is the 18-35-year-old crowd. And I know I need that 18-35-year-old crowd because, you know, the people over that are going to vote for me or not. You know, the 18-35, I can switch their ideas by saying, oh my God, you know, I like the fact that they make light bulbs a different way than everybody else, and I got to cancel all the other people that make light bulbs, you know, and things of that nature. It has become political grandstanding at its best, and the
Absolutely.
cancel culture has not given us any traction forward. That's the problem with it. Is everything that's come out with cancel culture, it's about shutting somebody down, and it's about killing their freedom of speech, or it's about ending their business. It's a termination of that individual in some shape or form or fashion. You know, so that's just...
Yeah, absolutely. Last thing I'll say on it is absolutely bullying. And if you don't agree that it's bullying, then you're not being objective about it. It's because you are doing it.
Yeah.
And what we need to realize is if you want to cancel the cancel culture, don't allow it to happen.
Yeah.
Call it out when it happens. If someone says, oh, well, you shouldn't wear a Drew Brees jersey because he's racist, give me a break. Drew Brees is the last person that would be racist. The guy had a stance about, you know, his grandfather and the flag. If you read the entire statement, he was never saying anything about, oh, let's keep allowing police brutality because of this or that. But you have to allow people to be on both sides of it. I understand that we have an issue in the black community where they feel like they are being brutalized more than the white community. I don't always agree with the data or the stats, but I do know this, that I need to be able to listen to them. I need to be able to try to be a brother to them and go, hey, you know what? You need to be a little bit more sensitive. But that doesn't mean I have to agree with it. And if I do not agree with you, that does not mean that I'm racist or insensitive or I'm helping with some offense. It means that my opinion is different than yours.
Yep, I totally agree, Coach. Well, hey, I think that's a good wrap-up today. I think that's good on the cancel culture. I'd like to everybody to stay tuned to us on the political side, the government side, the history side, the state of Texas side, of course, you know, or whatever it may be, because it keeps you in tune. And also I'd say is check us out on the following. We'll post up here in a minute. all the links you can look at us at. But also, make some comments because we want to really hear from your side of the story because everybody has a different perspective. Nobody's boxed in to that one thing that you have to be, like the cancel culture will try to tell us, that you have to be this or I don't like you. You know, everybody
Absolutely.
is unique in their own shape, form, or fashion.
Bet, I'll tell you what, in the last week, I love the comments that we've had. We had a lot of comments across the last 4 or 5 videos we've done.
Yeah.
And, of course, they're from one end to the other. Got some agreements, some disagreements. But you know what we found out is the more we talk, the more we understand. And at the end of the day, we all want to learn.
I agree. So, from the coach,
To the vet.
stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned.